Cars. Yep, I bet that's not how you expected this video to start when you clicked on it. They're not like bikes. Cars are made of plastic, rims, panels, handles, interior. Bikes aren't the same. They're made with precision, high quality materials, and all of the important parts are on show for you to feast your eyes on. There's a few more points that we're going to cover in today's video, so stick around after the intro to find out more. Welcome back to the channel, folks. JBL Motovlogging here. Hope you're all doing fantastic. So, motorcycle cleaning, something I'm very attached to if you are one to watch the channel regularly. In fact, over the years I've made quite a few videos on motorcycle cleaning, but don't worry, this isn't another one. This is about motorcycle cleaning, not doing motorcycle cleaning. So the title of this video is why do we need to clean our motorcycles? It's not just to make them shiny and new. It is part of it, but we're going to delve deeper into a few of the reasons why you definitely need to keep your bikes in tip-top condition. Two types of bikes in the world. You'll get them people on the rack kind of bikes where you go around, you look around it at the side of the road and here's an absolute mess. The core bike, it works, everything works, the chain's lube, the brakes are clean, but the rest of the bike is an absolute bomb site. Usual suspects of these are Suzuki's Bandit 600. I see loads of them packed up by the town by me. Always a black one with a top box on, and the headers are disgusting, all the pipes are rank, but you look at the chain, there's a nice gold chain on it, and all the brakes are clean and working as they should be. But then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got the show pony motorcycle, you know, your Ducatis, your Aprilias. There's not a speck of dirt on them, and they're specifically designed to be ridden either on the track at the limits or on the road in a summer's day when there's no salt or rain in sight. My bike is the middle ground. It works every day, it does the job, it's my everyday commuter, yet it tries, well, I try to keep it in tip-top condition. So I've managed to come down to 5 specific reasons why your bike needs to be clean. Doesn't have to be, it needs to be. One is protection against all of them expensive parts you put onto it. The other is holding its value for its next owner. Spotting problems as well when you're working on your bike, which leads us on to the next one, which is maintenance. And then getting to know your bike, so it all kind of ties together. So the first one then, protection against expensive parts. Motorcyclists are made to look absolutely beautiful. All areas are open to see, engine bays, especially on these hyper naked bikes these days. And you know, you want to put fancy engine covers on, braided brake lines, CNC machined rear sets and covers, and all these fancy titanium bolt kits. So if you've spent some amount of money on your motorcycle, why on earth, and this is a genuine question, why on earth would you just let it get gunked in tar, road salt, general brake dust, all that sort of corrosive stuff that will just eat away at these sort of metals and just kind of hide what you're looking at? Yeah, protect against some expensive parts. There's no point putting them on if you're just going to ruin them. And then that brings me on to the second one as well, holding its value. So a good example is my KTM 390 Duke. I had it in 2017, I had it for 2 years, I put about 14,000 miles on it from zero. And that bike was brand new, it was spotless, it was a KTM, and I protected it through the 2 winters it had, and when it come out on the other side it looked brand new. There was nothing wrong with that bike at all. There was not one speck of rust on it or anything. In fact, I've got the video as well if you do want to go have a look at that. I'll leave it linked in the top corner of when I was going to go sell it to buy the Yamaha. Put it as an example, so if you have a motorbike that's worth £5,000 and you have it 2 years down the line, most of the time it's going to go down to about 3,800 or so. If that bike, you know, you want to part exchange it for another one, you get to the dealer and it is absolutely caked in rust, all the, you know, all the cables are torn and stretched, the brake pads are not new, the headers are all gunky and horrible, you can't get to any of the bolts or oil filters and stuff. It's more work for the dealer to do, so they're going to charge you less because obviously they've got to put more money and man hours in to get that bike back to tip-top condition. Either on the other end of the spectrum, you go to buy with a private buyer and you sit the bike there as it is, all rusted up, you've tried to clean it the best you can and it's too late, you've let it get too far. They're just going to look around and go, well, I'm not giving you 3,800 for that. I'm going to give you 3,400 for that, because it's just, there's so much work to be done on it, and the money that they was going to spend on the bike, they'll need to spend in time as well to get it back up to scratch. So that's probably the main one why you need to clean your bike, is holding its value. They're not as disposable as cars, if you will. Everything's not covered in plastic, especially on these new naked bikes. All the important stuff is there to be seen, and it's open to the elements. So yeah, the next three tie into one, which is the spotting the problems, maintenance, and getting to know your bike. The amount of times I've been washing my bike and detailing it, and I've come across a loose bolt, or you maybe catch something like your brake light's not working, your clutch lever plays out, or your throttle play, all this sort of stuff, you see the problems with it. Whereas if you ride it day to day, you get on it, ride, get off it, get on it, ride, repeat, it just kind of, that becomes the norm, unfortunately. When you go around the bike with a bucket and sponge and you're scrubbing away everything, and all of a sudden you kind of hear like a loose sound, and you scrub across a bolt and it kind of turns a little bit, and you're like, okay, that bolt needs tightening. Why isn't it Loctited? For example, one on your foot pegs or your rear sets attaching to the frame. Sometimes I've caught them loose. Another one as well is where the gear shift lever comes up to the top, where it attaches. Sometimes I've found that loose because the covers come off and it's kind of made its way loose as well. Generally, one of them things you should be doing anyway is spotting problems on your bike and looking around it and, you know, doing a checklist. But instead of specifically doing that, you should tie it into just when you're cleaning your bike, which brings you on to, you know, your maintenance and you knowing your bike. Everyone gets a new motorcycle, and you kind of have the core mechanics of a bike, you know, to check its fluids, its chain tension, but every bike's different. And you know, when you spend a little bit of time with your bike and you clean it and you take parts off, being able to take panels off and learn how the bike's put together, take panels off, clean behind it, put it back on, do it one at a time, you know, even if you're not mechanically inclined, and stuff like taking panels and foot pegs off, you know, is daunting to you, which at one time it was. But as long as you do it one at a time, you know, take a foot peg off, leave the bolts out, clean it around, put it back together, do the other one, go around to something like, you know, the rear hugger, look where it's attached to, take the 4 bolts out, take it off, clean in it, then put them back where you found it. And eventually you'll get to the point, you know, where you understand how your bike's made, what bolt goes where, and when you're cleaning it, you can take it apart, leave all the bolts in a certain thing so your bike's in pieces, and you can kind of get a good in-depth clean of you know, keep a good eye on it. So under the tank, behind panels is a main one, down by the engine bay, by the oil filter, always has to be accessible. Oil fluid tank as well, to be able to see in there, taking your calipers off every now and again, having an inspect, cleaning them out, sort of stuff. So you kind of get to know your bike, as well as you're doing your maintenance as well. As for the maintenance side of it as well, there is the main maintenance on your bike, which is, you know, some people go, I'll leave it to the garage. It might be daunting to go outside and work on your bike and do an oil change on it and take up the chain and loosen the rear wheel and stuff, because putting back together you might not be confident enough that, you know, you want to go riding down the road or down the motorway at said mile an hour on maintenance you've done yourself. But if you follow your service manual, that's probably your best friend, is just read your service manual. And when cleaning your bike, all this stuff ties into one, and eventually you'll know your bike's put together and be a lot safer on the road, because you can save yourself a lot of money and gain your knowledge as well. And one last one is, it's just super fun. That's why you need to clean your bike. It just is fun. Have you not seen me with a snow foam machine? I could just snow foam the bike, rinse it off, snow foam again, clean it off. It's fantastic. So yeah, very, very quick video, I know. But for cleaning your bike, that is one thing I had to stress out there. The amount of bikes I'm seeing on my Instagram at the minute that are being completely neglected is kind of saddening to me. So I hope this video helped. I hope you do agree with any of these, and if you've got any more reasons, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below. I like to see what other excuses people make for cleaning the bikes, because I'm always outside with the jet wash and a bucket and sponge. But anyway, I hope you did enjoy that little one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. At the minute, the weather isn't fantastic in the UK. We've come out of lockdown a little bit, but we're still waiting on some sun. We had 2 or 3 days of it last week, and I managed to get out to Wasdale Head. I'll leave that video at the end if you want to go have a look at that one to get a taste of the channel. But apart from that, folks, we're sticking to these studio videos for now, and I do have another thing that I'm picking up from the sports bike shop in the next couple of days, and we'll talk a little bit about that on the next video. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you're doing fantastic, and I hope you have a cracking day. Ride safe, and I'll see you in the next one, boys and girls. Peace.